Welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Air Check and Classic TV channel.
We love all of you out there who allowed us to come into your homes, your living rooms, your cars every week to argue, to discuss issues that were important of the day. Thank you very much.
Once again, Pickett, you didn't watch the clock. All right, got 4 minutes to go.
Leave my lawyer alone.
Big shout to the Bronx.
But you remember, Peter took up the clock now.
No, he was ranting. Let me just say this very quickly as we get ready to lock it out. There are a lot of stuff a lot of things that we still haven't finished. That we got a lot of unfinished business that I've mentioned before. We got the Central Park Jargon situation. That's going on. The charter schools, back to the two black violence. We haven't finished those assignments. We have a lot of unfinished business, but as we say, everything comes to a finish here, but hopefully we'll pick it up and do it at another location.
There you go.
I want to thank you all very much. Thank the listeners for being with us. We're going to close out with this song, and we thank you all for all your support to 98.7 KISS FM for 30 years.
Yes, sir.
We love you.
Goodbye, everybody.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Both of them at the same time in order for this whole thing to work for the people.
Hey, look, nobody's closing me out of my business.
Land in peace, love, joy, with that understanding of truly who you are. Instead of brother turning on sister, sister turning on brother. Now how you gonna get it together?
The all-new ESPN New York 98.7 FM starts.
Good morning. Let's go. Hello.
Now. It's one giant evolutionary step.
I don't think there's any other market quite like New York when it comes to sports fandom. The passion, the excitement, the enthusiasm.
Hey, it's Golick. Now that's what I'm talking about. We wanted to reach more people. Now we can.
ESPN everywhere.
The best part about New York sports fans, they're honest. They're going to boo you if they don't like you. They're authentic. They're up front.
I grew up in the Bronx. I am a New Yorker. I know the pulse of this city.
It'd be nice to have you guys on the FM dial. It's a real good move by you guys. I can't say enough.
The all-new ESPN New York 98.7 FM. Now, here's Stephen A. Smith on the all-new ESPN New York 98.7 FM.
You heard him. You heard him. Welcome to the all-new ESPN New York 98.7 FM. It is your boy, Stephen A. Smith, and I can't even tell you how proud I am to be on the airwaves this night. I'm not usually one that wants to work midnight. That's not usually me. I'm usually at a game or something like that, but tonight I could not miss it. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be the first voice right here at the new home for ESPN New York 98.7 FM. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be more focused and dedicated to bring you the best sports talk we can possibly bring you. It is something I can promise you on behalf of the ESPN family you can always look forward to. To my friends at 98.7 KISS FM, now collaborating with WBLS, the great Bob Slade, Jeff Fox. So many of you guys have interviewed me over the years. I'm quite sure I'll still be hearing you guys, if not at BLS, somewhere. My heartfelt thanks to you for the 30 years of service that station has given the city of New York. Love y'all dearly. Grew up listening to y'all. But now we are here tonight as ESPN Radio, the new home for ESPN New York, 98.7. And there's a lot of stuff to get into. Number one would be the New York Knicks. Because as we sit here tonight, the New York Knicks, fresh off of getting stomped, beat down, bum rushed, and embarrassed, 100-67, and to be quite honest with you, being due to the fact that I was there at that game, ladies and gentlemen, let me make something very, very clear to you. No matter what you saw on TV, no matter the beat down, that you witnessed, that you thought you witnessed, that the television cameras allowed you to witness, that the radio airwaves allowed you to witness, let me assure you, it was nothing compared to how it looked in person. That was a beatdown of epic proportions, the kind of beatdown that made you sit there and scratch your head and say, my goodness, did they really belong in this game right here? We all know that LeBron James and his Herculean effort is of no surprise. But forgive me if I'm a bit shocked that he outscored all 5 starters for the New York Knicks. 32-30. LeBron James by himself did that. Dwayne Wade showed up and contributed 19 points, but it really wasn't necessary. The New York Knicks committed 24 turnovers. They looked like just a bad version of the Bad News Bears. And that's, again, I'm being kind. And so what you have to ask yourself is that at this moment in time, as we look at these New York Knicks, where do they go from here? And what possible hope do they have to win this series? We try not to engage in hyperbole, and we try to be as honest and respectful as we possibly can, always over the airwaves of ESPN New York. And so in thinking that way and in feeling that way, let me be clear to you about my position, because just so you know, for future reference, I don't wear pom-poms. I'm no cheerleader. I call it like I see it. This is what New Yorkers do. And I'm not about to change for anybody. So let me just give it to you straight. I believe this series is over already. I'm quite sure there are people that will disagree with me. That's fine. You're entitled. 800-919-3776 is the number to call up. That's 800-919-3776. If we're honest with ourselves, this series is over. The question is not whether or not the Knicks have a chance of winning this series. The question is whether or not they have a chance of winning a game. LeBron James is healthy. Dwayne Wade looked healthy. Chris Bosh is healthy. I spoke to all 3 of them after the game. They said they're fine. They said they're fine. Spoke to guys like Mario Chalmers and Udonis Haslem and those boys. They say they're fine. Meanwhile, we don't even know if Tyson Chandler's going to play in Game 2 because he's still struggling with the flu like he was in Game 1, a game that in the aftermath of it all, in hindsight, we believe he should not have played, as awful as he was, 7 turnovers in the game. Iman Shumpert is a rookie. Nevertheless, he's considered one of the better, if not the best, according to some NBA aficionados, the best on-ball defender in the game. He's out. It's gone. It's over. Torn ACL and lateral meniscus. Third quarter, 6 minutes and 4 seconds left. It's when he had that injury occurred. He wasn't even touched. And so what that means is what that leaves you with. What that leaves you with, ladies and gentlemen, understand the magnitude of this. You had to have all hands on deck if you had a snowball's chance, and you know what, of winning this series. Now, your future defensive player of the year, because Tyson Chandler will win that award, is struggling with the flu. You don't even know if he's going to play. Your starting shooting guard, who recently was inserted into the starting lineup and is considered one of the premier defensive players in this game in your backcourt, he's out for the year, next 6 to 9 months to be exact, with a torn ACL and lateral meniscus. And Carmelo Anthony, the star himself, the man who wanted the bright lights of Broadway, 3 of 15 from the field, 11 points, 4 turnovers. The 10 rebounds don't really mean that much because 6 of them were offensive. And all that means to me is that they kept missing shots and he kept grabbing his own misses or somebody else's in the same uniform as his. I'm not buying that. This is really bad, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're the New York Knicks, what do you have to do? If there's any hope, Stephen A., come on, Stephen A., could you help us out, please? I mean, give us some help, will you? Please, please, pretty please, with sugar on top. I know that's what you're saying. I'll tell you where the hope lies. Carmelo's got to average about 35 or 40. What's the chances you think of him doing that? Amari Stoudemire, Mr. $100 million man, is your power forward. 2 for 7 shooting from the field for 9 points in 32 minutes. By the way, did I forget to tell y'all that the 2 field goals that he made was in the first quarter? First 5-6 minutes of the game? That means he went the rest of the game without scoring another point. And he actually went the final 3 quarters attempting only 2 shots. in the midst of a 32-2 run by the Miami Heat, with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade coming at you, with 2 stars on your front line that are getting combined $160 million. I'm sorry, that's what's owed left to them. Actually, it's more like 120 owed to them. But combined, they're signed for $185 million. But we're being technical here. I digress. The point is, these 2 guys, in the midst of a 32-2 run by the Miami Heat, were nowhere to be found. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bad. It's very, very bad. There's no way around this. And we're not going to sit here and sugarcoat it, and we're not going to lie. But rather than bloviate and go off and just irritate myself even more, rather than you hearing from me, I'll let you hear from them. Listen to Carmelo Anthony talking about Miami's defense and how it wasn't expected. Listen up. Do we have that sound? No, we don't. I apologize. Go ahead. Play that sound for me, sir. All right. 800-919-3776 is the number to call up. That's 800-919-3776. You know, we just have some technical difficulties. We'll get that straightened out for you in a second here. If you look at it right now, Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire, literally, they've got to come and save the day. They've got to pull it off for you. And contrary to what you may think, I think that's a great thing. It's an absolutely, positively fantastic thing. That's what you want. It's what you need. It's not about a championship, ladies and gentlemen. You weren't getting that anyway. This is about finding out who's going to step up and get it done for you. Who's going to find a way to figure it out? It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to get blown out of the building. Embarrassed, beat down. You don't want that. And I happen to believe enough in the New York Knicks to think that they'll figure out a way to prevent that from happening. But to think for 1 second that it's going to be something more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to get over it. This is the all-new ESPN New York on 98.7 FM.
For the Knicks, Game 1 was a complete disaster.
Hey, they hit us in the mouth, so we got to see what we made of now.
In Game 2, will Carmelo find his shot? And can the Knicks effectively replace Iman Shumpert?
Game 2 is Monday night. I expect a completely different effort, an actual effort from the New York Knicks.
The Knicks, the Heat, the playoffs. Game 2 coverage begins tonight at 6:30 on the all-new ESPN New York, 98.7 FM.